This is the story of a fisherman named John, who sets out to fish in his small boat, but after traveling a short distance, something strange happens to him. A thick fog envelops the sea, and he can no longer see anything in the distance. He drifts through the fog for a long time until he spots a boat far away. Surprisingly, he did not see a single person in that boat. He now wants to check it, so he ties his boat with this huge boat and goes inside to check it. There he was shocked to see that there was no one in this boat. Although everything was normal there, even the food was fresh there. All the effects of humans were there, but there were no humans. Now John tries to start the boat, but he finds out that the engine of the boat is damaged. He was surprised to see such a big boat alone in such a big sea. He tries to investigate the surroundings with binoculars. Maybe the owner of this boat is nearby and has gone fishing with a small boat, but there was so much fog that he could not see anything. Now John goes back to the control room and turns on the radio messenger from there. He sends a message to the headquarters that this boat is stuck in the sea. If anyone is listening to me, please answer me. After doing all this, he decided that he would go in his own boat, and as he came up, he was surprised to see that his boat had disappeared from there, although he had tied the boat well. As his boat disappeared, another strange thing happened to him that all the fog was removed from here. The sky was completely clear. It was noon, so he came back in the same ship. Now because he was stuck in this boat, so he tries to find his way through the map and tries to find out where he is now and which way he has to take to get back home. Another problem was that the engine of this boat was also broken. If he had to save his life, then somehow he had to drive this boat. Now he starts trying to fix the engine. He finds a toolbox from this boat, and after a little while he was able to fix its engine. This was a great achievement for him. Now the boat was working. He could have taken this boat anywhere, but at least he understood the way. That's why he contacts the control room again, but no one answers. Then the poor guy comes up, and as he comes up, he needs to go to the washroom. No one was watching him. Instead of going down, he decides to do this in the sea, but then suddenly someone pushed him from behind, because of which he fell. He could have drowned in the water, but by holding the railing, he saved his life with great difficulty. The air pressure was so high that it was difficult for him to come back. Now he would have drowned, but he would not lose hope, and as he holds the railing, he comes back into this boat. In all this, his work could not be done, that's why he went down to the toilet. As he went down, someone closed his door tightly. John did not pay attention to this because he thought that maybe it was closed due to the air pressure, but as he got free and turned back, the door was locked from outside. He now tries to open the door in every possible way. He even takes a coin from his pocket to try and unlock it, but that doesn't work. Growing frustrated, he starts to believe that someone on the ship is toying with him, torturing him with some cruel game. He started screaming loudly, "Please, whoever it is, open this door. I did not come here for any theft, believe me. I just came to check." Despite saying so much, no one answered him. Now whatever he had to do it himself. He opens the cabin here and sees a shocking thing. There was blood in the cabin. It was a scary thing, but he did not pay attention and tries to open the door again by taking out a scissor from here, and once again, he fails. Now this boat was also moving continuously. John was fed up, but then suddenly, he saw a window above. When he comes out of the window and looks around, he sees a cargo ship coming from far away. He saw that the direction of the cargo ship was exactly towards his ship. If the cargo ship comes here, then his ship will be destroyed, and he will die. To save his life, he wanted to give a signal to the cargo ship, but how would he give it? He was stuck here. He takes out his shirt and gives a signal to the cargo ship, but no one from the cargo ship could see him. Now he had to save his life somehow, so he had to stop his ship. Otherwise, the cargo ship would have destroyed it. Then he sees a rope above the window and gets the idea that he stopped the ship with this rope. He ties the rope and throws it out so that the boat can stop, but something bad happened to him here. The rope got stuck with the fan of his ship, and from inside the bathroom, the rope got stuck in his throat. His throat was now choking. He would die, but with great difficulty, he gets his neck out of this rope with some other tool. His neck was completely red. He was about to die, but the cargo ship still collides with his ship. Because of this, his ship gets the worst shock and he also falls here and becomes unconscious. He also had a head injury. When John came to his senses, he saw that the bathroom was now filled with water, and the shocking thing was that it was not the water of the sea, but pure water. That means there was someone who was trying to scare him. He begs one more time. "Whoever you are, please leave me," but no one was listening to him. He was now hungry and thirsty. His strength had also decreased. After drinking water, he uses the shower of the washroom. He sees that the water was over. When he starts drinking fresh water, he finds out that now this water is salty. It is seawater, and so he knows that there is a hole in his boat through which the seawater is coming into the boat, and now soon this boat will sink. He tries again to open this door, but it seems that someone has closed the door from the outside. It was also night, and when the scene above the boat is shown, it is discovered that someone, invisible and undoubtedly an evil creature, is controlling the boat. The water had also come up a lot, and in this shock, John also fell asleep. At night, there was a storm in the sea. Due to the storm, the boat was also badly damaged, and John was also badly injured. In the morning, when he opened his eyes, the water level had increased so much that only his face was outside. Now he had accepted that he would die in a little while, but then he heard a clicking sound, and as he turned the handle, the clicking door was open. Due to the pressure of the water, the door breaks and falls out, and in this way, John is released from here. First, he goes to the top of the boat to breathe in the fresh air, as the oxygen level below was dangerously low. Now he knew that whoever is here is trying to torture him in every way. He can't tolerate more torture than this. Along with that, the water was also filling in the boat below. He knew that this boat would sink at any time. He had decided that he would not stay here, that's why he gets an idea. He takes airbags from this ship and, with the broken bathroom door below, he ties all those things together and makes a small raft for himself, so that he can escape through it, but some other things were also necessary. How does he run this raft? He arranges all the things on this big boat. He even takes food from here, and then gets off this boat. Finally, he was in his raft while sweeping. He was slowly moving forward with great effort, and this big boat was standing in front of him. Hours pass. He also can't travel much and sees that the boat is also standing in the same way, about which he was thinking that it will sink in 5 to 10 minutes. If it hasn't sunk yet, it means that it won't sink. Thinking this, he gets an idea: why not fix the leakage system of this boat? In this way, I will also be able to travel in the same boat easily. Thinking this, he comes back to this boat. First of all, he fixes the leakage of the boat, and then he makes a pump, with the help of which all the seawater in the boat easily came back to the sea. After doing all this, he tries to call for help through the radio again, but this time also, when he didn't get any answer, he came back to the boat. He had a map. He tried to find the way again and move this boat, but once again, this boat deceives him and doesn't move. That boat was completely still. It was stuck in the water, and this thing put him in tension. Now he was completely tired. Meanwhile, he sees another ship coming far away, and he decides to go to that other ship through his small raft to save his life. As he takes his raft and leaves for him, this ship moves, and it starts following him so fast that he thought that this ship would crush him and kill him. He increased his speed, but it was of no use because that big ship had increased its speed even more. And before this ship collided with him, he jumps off his raft and decides to go to the other ship that was floating, but by then, that other ship had already left. Seeing this, he understood that there is something evil on this boat that is not letting him go far away from himself. He had thought that even if he dies in the water, he will not go to that boat. He kept swimming in the water till evening, but now the temperature of the water had dropped a lot. The water was very cold, and there were dolphins below. Cold, he comes back to the boat. He was so sick that he didn't think of anything and went to sleep in the room with a blanket. When he woke up in the morning, he decided to leave again, but now the door of his room was also closed. He grows increasingly frustrated. He was not able to understand what was happening to him. Then he sees a small cabin here. When he opened it, he saw there is a way from above. There is a ventilation that can open and go out of here. He now went inside that cabin. That was a tiny place, as it was a storage area. Through this storage area, whenever he tried to climb up from here, he fell. In this way, he had many injuries, but he didn't give up, and he climbed up again and tried to open that window, but he also couldn't open it. It felt like it was sealed. The oxygen level of this place had also dropped a lot. The door of the cabin was also not opening so that he could go back to the room. Once again, he had accepted that he would die. Before he became unconscious due to lack of oxygen, he heard the clicking sound again and the cabin opened. As the cabin opened, he immediately came out of the boat. When he came out, he saw that the boat was coming from a small island. As the boat reaches the shore of the island, John also gets off the boat immediately. He felt that there was a person on this island who was controlling that boat and torturing John. He picked up a rod to teach that man a lesson, but as he explored this island, he was shocked that there was no sign of a human being on this island. Once again, he was upset. When he came out of this island, a new scene bothered him. The boat that had brought him here was now moving ahead of him again, as if it were searching for its next prey. Seeing this, John became absolutely certain that the boat and the island were under the control of purely evil forces. He had to get out of here. He had a life. While doing some research, when he goes to the highest point of this island, he sees another island nearby but can't see what was happening on it. While roaming around, he came to the back of the island. He was shocked when he came here. This was the very place where John had begun his journey at the start of the movie. And here, his boat was also tied up like before. There were humans, like before. It seemed as if nothing had happened. John saw everything, believing it was a bad dream. But in reality, it all happened to him. Who brought his boat here? And what was the true nature of this island? What was behind everything that happened to John? These questions are left unanswered, as the movie ends without revealing them.